All right, SmackDown happened on and gone with, but I was like, I've seen a lot of discourse of people talking about that Cody should be the one to go heel. I was like, plus everybody also already mad at Cody for winning the title from Drew anyway and facing Randy Orton. But I actually think that this was the right move, and that you had to be turn Randy heel, not Cody, in all this. But also, this is going to be one of them ways that's like heel doesn't mean heel in the way that it does anymore. Uh, as last year, John Cena turned heel, and while the match didn't go well, and some people could feel a certain way about how his heel turn took or whatever, everybody still cheered. Everybody's still going to be like a little bit into it. Randy, I think and I was like, it's different than Cena because that was something that Cena's never done before. Whereas Randy has been a baby face, a heel, in between, a real villain. He's been all these different type of things. He's been a babyface pretty much his last few years, especially him coming back from the back thing. That the reason I keep putting him in quotes is because yes, he's going to be doing heel things, but one, the people are going to be so behind it because it's like he's doing cool things that you sort of like to see. Two, is because since Randy has done this in his career, it is able to fit his MO instead of just him just being a heel. Like if Sammy did this, it's probably being a heel. Jay did this, being a heel. Randy will do this as a good guy, as a bad guy. That is just who he is. It's the voices inside his head that it doesn't matter. That's who he is. So therefore, like I said, that's another one. And also, last but not least, is Cody. And why I think that you don't turn Cody heel is because of this. I was like, look, of course, Cody live, everybody loves Cody. I was like, I think a lot of people like Cody, contrary to what you really hear about. I think a lot of times it's just like Cody wins again, it's Cody again, same story, same guy. Even though I feel like while it is the same guy, there's a bunch of nuances that's why I'm like, he's not going to turn heel now. I don't think he's going to turn heel this year. Let's see how it goes after the Saudi Mania. But that's why I was like, so. But the reason it was right that you got to do Randy is all the things I named, but because of the fact that people, as Cody's so polarizing, that the people online, the IWC, whatever you want to say, can get on board with Randy, especially if this ain't the only incident he does where he just basically whoops the hell out of Cody. Um, and just destroys Cody. If he and then now it's also like he seems legitimate of actually winning the title. Because going into WrestleMania, if you with this match, people will probably be like, "Oh, okay, Randy's going to win," but you don't. I was like, you don't know. But then because you're like, it's Cody. The same reason that you sort of like don't like Cody. Same reason you're like he might win this one. Could they just try to do the go whole thing of I need to win this championship, be my 15th, try to get towards Orton, Cena, that whole thing. Yeah, but that's sort of bland. But if it's like he has to do whatever it takes, yes, it's sort of like last year, but it's a different whatever it takes. This whatever it takes comes with a maliciousness that John Cena just wasn't going to have, to where it flows a lot better. And we'll see Orton go through a little bit of like him talking about the voices, going the up and down of he had to do it. It was the only way he could get himself in the right mindset and all this other stuff. But I think also too is that Cody, unlike some of the other baby faces, top of the company type of guy, will also go to these measures in a way that Roman, Punk, none of them are going to, even Rollins, none of them are going to, like, out of those and Cody, who do you think is going, who will basically, yes, he will have some conflictions, but you can see busting somebody else open? Is Cody. None of them other dudes are really going to be busting anybody open unless it's like probably like some stipulation match, and that's even then like CM Punk. It was in Hell in a Cell. You sort of have to do with it, but other than that, Cody is willing to bleed, and I was like I was like Punk is willing to as well. Roman and Rollins has not their thing like that, in that type of way. So I'm like, this works because you know that, hey, maybe not next week on SmackDown or whatever, but you know Cody is going to try to beat the living hell out of Randy to where going into WrestleMania is going to feel a lot more heated. And that's why if it was the other way, you would have to have Cody be a heel, do something heelish. And I was like, I don't like, and that wouldn't be necessarily hard. But what is Randy gonna do? Randy just gonna be the baby. Like I was like, his is because he will just do this right back to Cody to where we're just in the same spot. And then I'm just like, all right, cool, but what do you do? Because now I was like, Cody switching to being a heel means that he would win at WrestleMania. Because you can't have him do that switch and lose at WrestleMania. Randy doing this switch means he probably is going to win at WrestleMania. So I was like, to me, it's just a formula that you just have to do. And plus, Cody will get booed during all this. Randy will get booed and cheered on this because, as we're probably all waiting for, is a punt in the head. And I'm just saying, I was like, he RKO Beth Phoenix. We was like, oh, finally, thank you, sir. I was like, we asked him to do his moves once again. I was like, yes, this thing with the steel steps and stuff like that, people were sort of like had like you sort of like it wasn't just like do it again. It wasn't necessarily cheers in that way. It was just shock and awe of it. But guess what? He's going to come out. Maybe he might get booed, but you're going to sing this. Everybody's going to sing the song. Then he's going to come out. Then they'll boo him for a little bit. I was like, they'll let him do it. I was like, but it works with Randy because we know his motivation is to win that championship, and I was like, it's to get him in his mind. But only people that's able to do this is these two. These two, this like that's what you would have. That's what you would have to do. So I think I was like, now I will say I would have rather it happen. I would like. I wish it would have took. I would wish it would have went another week. I felt like the signing and stuff like that could have had it where they're both on, like they're both sort of pals or buddies, but you could sort of see Randy being a little conflicted. He sort of was like that when he was like, it should have been Drew so that he could whoop Drew ads and not yours or whatever. But this will just be explained when like with that and with Cody. Cause I also feel like Cody's doing the Randy like how he did the Kevin Owens, where it's like, you've been such a good friend and you've been helping me out. I want you to challenge me for that championship. I want, I feel like that's what it is, where it's like a hand me out. Even though Randy did win an elimination chamber, the way with Cody does it just feels like it's a handout. So that's probably how he'll explain it. But I would have rather take another week just so like, one, we still got like a month to go, but also I feel like it would have marinated a little bit better than it just like happened. But hey, we're here now, and like I said, he had to do it. It had to be pulled off by him. But anyway, I was like, what do the rest of y'all think? Do you think basically that Randy, it was the right move for him to be heel? Or Cody, they should have did something with Cody on the heelish side or something like that, or whatever. I was like, do you mind that it happened so quick, like at the very beginning? Would you want to delay it? Let me know. Until then, I'm out. Peace.